Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez.
And I'm Kevin Friel. We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. Just head on over to www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
After a 3-week break, the town council convenes on Thursday night. In addition to working through a 6-item agenda, councilors will hear from State Representative Matt Patrick, members of AmeriCorps, and will hold a workshop on the proposed Coastal Resources Plan. Earlier today, Kevin sat down with Assistant Town Manager Tom Lynch for a more in-depth preview of Thursday's meeting.
We're going to be discussing the February 25th meeting. It's loaded up with some presentations before the actual meeting of their agenda gets underway. So, Tom, why don't we start with the first person that's going to be before the council is State Representative Matthew Patrick, and he's going to be talking about the striped bass legislation, House Bill number 696. Could you tell us about why he's coming to visit the town council?
Representative Patrick filed a bill that would have restricted recreational and commercial striped bass fishing, and Councilor Barry at the last town council meeting, as we discussed on this show, introduced a resolution asking the town council to go on record as urging that the bill ought not to pass in the state legislature. There was a healthy debate on that, and the council voted to support the resolution that would say we're against the bill. Representative Patrick has called and said, well, gee, I'd like to come and explain the bill to you and tell you why I wanted to take this action. So the town council is accommodating him, and he'll be on early on to talk about the House bill and give his views on that.
So the discussion will be limited to just the House bill?
I believe so. That's what we understood his reason for asking to come before us was.
Okay. Now, there's another group it's a group coming before the town council. This is the AmeriCorps of Cape Cod group. And as we've been saying on Barnstable this morning, and we've had them on our show, they're trying to get the word out about a Barnstable Big Fix that's going on. So why don't you tell us about their program and what they're working on?
Well, AmeriCorps is a wonderful program. It's been in existence now for, I think, over 10 years here in the Barnstable County. This year, I think they're coming to promote the Big Fix, which is going to happen in May for basically seniors, homeowners, disabled folks who can't take care of little things around their houses much as they'd like to, and they're going to have a whole team of volunteers go out, and maybe there's a cabinet door that's broken, or maybe there's a little painting that needs to be done, or something that the senior or disabled individual can't get to. And so they're looking for volunteers to help out with that, and I think they're coming to pitch that.
I just want to mention, just before we move on to something else, that if you know anybody who's an elderly citizen or a disabled resident, if you think that they can benefit from the Barnstable Big Fix, which is on Saturday, May 1st, they can call Housing Assistance Corporation at 508-778-7535, extension 4. And these small fixes really can lift a heavy burden off some of these seniors.
Well said.
Yep. Okay, so now let's move on to the last...
And we have one more. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So why don't you talk about the coastal resources?
The Coastal Resources Plan workshop. Mm-hmm. This is an effort that's been going on for about the past 16, 17 months, and the Coastal Resources Committee came about because there was talk of a moratorium on docks and piers and creating shellfish overlay districts, and there were conflicts between recreational uses of the shore as well as the recreational commercial shellfishing interests. So they have prepared their report. They're ready to make that presentation, and I believe there'll be an action plan or some sort of plan laid out so that the council can decide what action it may want to take based on the recommendations that the Coastal Resources Group spent so much time on.
Great, Tom. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the agenda that the town council will be looking at. We've just heard of the groups that will be before the council, but first is an appropriation that we've seen many times. We've discussed it many times. This is a community preservation fund. Why don't you sort of set the stage of what this is?
This is the project down in Cotuit where a local developer wants to build some affordable housing, and it's on Main Street in Cotuit. And part of the compromise that I believe has been set up is that there's going to be a little over an acre of land put into conservation restriction, and to purchase that, it's being bought, split in half between the Water District and the Community Preservation Committee. So that's the appropriation is for $137,000.50 that the Town Council will be debating to see if they want to participate in this conservation restriction.
Now, the next item is moved off until March 4th. That's the Craigville District of Critical Planning Concern. That's still being moved off?
Yes, I believe it's scheduled for public hearing. That may be opened and then continued, or however it is. There's not going to be action on that item, but it'll be put off until March 4th.
Okay, now there's 3 grants up for acceptance. The first is for $36,000 from the Massachusetts Cultural Council, John and Abigail Adams program. Could you tell us about the program and about the money?
This is our 5th year, unprecedented in terms of the way these grants are given out. But the Mass Cultural Council and the John Abigail Adams grant feels that our Hobby or Arts program has been so innovative and so integral to promoting that whole arts community in the Arts District that we're trying to do from Pearl Street right on down through the waterfront at Bismarck Park, that they've given us this grant for the 5th year in a row.
That's wonderful news. Now, the next one involves the folks over at the Barnstable Senior Center for just over $83,000. Could you tell us about this as a formula grant, as it's known, and what that money will be used for?
Senator Murray notified the town manager and the senior council, senior services about this grant. I believe it was in our e-news last week, and this is money that's used for volunteer coordinators, staff, and it's integral to helping to run the senior center over there.
So we just have a short time left to talk about this last one, and it's for a lease from the CCRTA, and it's for a Silver Express transportation program. Could you tell us about what the lease of $1 is for?
Grand total of $1. So, but what the RTA does is they give us a brand new van that can be used for our Silver Express to where seniors can call and get a ride to medical appointment and to various different appointments. We have volunteer drivers. I met one the other day that was an old friend who's here working, and for $1 we get the van, and it'll be brand new and state of the art.
Great.
So we're very grateful.
And so that runs for 5 years too, so
Yes.
we'll have the benefit of that.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Aside from the town council, a number of other boards and committees are meeting this week. Nick has a look at the schedule.
At 6 p.m., the Airport Commission meets at the Barnstable Municipal Airport, and at 7 p.m., the Waterways Committee meets in the Selectmen's Conference Room at Town Hall. On Wednesday, February 24th, there's an amnesty hearing in the Town Hall hearing room at 6 p.m. That's followed at 7 p.m. by a Zoning Board of Appeals meeting in the Town Hall hearing room. Also at 7 p.m., the Old Kings Highway Historic District Commission meets at the West Barnstable Community Center on Route 149. On Thursday, February 25th, the Town Council meets in the Town Hall hearing room. That meeting begins at 7 p.m. Well, that's all the time we have for now. For Kevin Friel, I'm Nick Cortez. We'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.